Hi guys, so today I am making my spicy zero noodles and I'm going to show you how I do this. So I've got my zero noodles. I get these from Amazon. I get these in, I think it's a box of 30, and this is the one that's made with what's it called, shirataki I think it's called. So for my veg I'm going to be using 80 grams of green beans. I'm going to be using some chorizo. You can use some salami. I like chorizo because it's got quite a good fat content, as you can see all the marbling on there. I'm going to use some prawns, some of my adobo spicy all-purpose seasoning, some salt, some of this is by Mrs. Dash, and I also get this off Amazon. This is a really good one as well, because if you have a look, it's got nothing basically, so it's quite similar to the adobo one. And of course, to make it spicy, some crushed chili flakes. So, and I might sprinkle some cheese on afterwards. So first thing, open this up and give it a good rinse. I'll do that now. Alright, so this is my noodles. So halfway through rinsing my one pack, I decided to actually add another pack, because that means I can have this twice. I could do a half and half, put half of it in the fridge and have half of it tonight for dinner. So I've got 2 packs here. So I've got a dry pan and I'm going to heat that up now. And in the pan goes absolutely nothing. So when I post this on the Facebook group, when I say to dry fry it, that's exactly what I mean. So you have a pan with nothing in it on a high heat, and once that's hot, is it hot enough? Yes. I'm just gonna toss it in there and just dry fry it. Okay, so I've got that in the pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat up, because I want this on a medium to high heat. I'm going to turn that up, and I've put absolutely nothing in the pan. And I'm just going to use my kitchen tongs, and I'm just going to keep tossing this about to make sure the heat is evenly distributed across the whole pan and get into all the noodles, including the ones at the top. So I will keep doing it. At the moment it looks quite thick, so each noodle would appear quite thick. And what you do for dry frying is, because these noodles are made from the konjac plant, and I think it's got like 90% water, you're trying to dry fry it, and thereby most of the water evaporates, so it makes it less rubbery and easier to cook and adapt to whatever flavor you're putting it, as opposed to it being quite chewy. So you just dry fry that. I usually do this for about 5 minutes. So I'll keep doing this for a good 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to make this sizzling sound. It's been making that now for the past, I'd say maybe 2 minutes. So you can, I don't know if you look closely, if over there you can see that the noodles, the texture has definitely changed. Some of it have gone really thin. That means the water is drying out really nicely. So I think this is about how much I would go. It seems fairly dry. There's absolutely there's not much evaporation going on, and there's no liquid at all in the pan. So I've done the dry frying for exactly, say, 4.5 minutes now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take it off the pan and just toss it in my bowl. Oh, let's see if that fits. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that and put it in my bowl. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have my noodles to one side in my bowl, I've got a hot pan, and I have put in 1 level tablespoon of coconut oil. Now I'm just going to take the time now to show you guys what coconut oil I use, because a lot of you have asked me on the Facebook group. So this is the coconut oil that I use. God, it's huge. I don't know if you can see from here. It's the Kirkland brand, so it's available at Costco, and for times when I can't get myself to Costco, I actually buy it on Amazon, and I think on Amazon it's less than £30. And I will show you. This is, oh, where is the size of it? I would want to say it's, here you go, it's at the top. So the size of it is, come on, okay, so it's a 2.3 kg tub. And if you know anything about the price of coconut oil, you would know that about maybe 500 gram is about £7. So for this, it's a really good buy, and it's huge, and it actually smells of coconut. So that's that. I'm just going to put that back. Okay, so in the pan I have my tablespoon of coconut oil. To that I'm going to add my green beans. These are trimmed ones. I get the trimmed ones from Asda, and this is 100 gram of green beans. Now to that I'm just going to turn my pan down, turn the heat all the way down to make sure nothing's cooking too quickly. I'm just tossing that in the coconut oil to make sure it's all coated. I'm going to add a sprinkle of salt. This is about a 1/4 teaspoon. And in goes my prawns. Once I can get them open. I'm just going to get the prawns in. So in goes my prawns. Oh, we're missing one. There you go. So that's just green beans, a sprinkle of salt, and my prawns. Now I'm going to season with my Mrs. Dash. This is the garlic and herb one. Come on, Mrs. Dash. Oh, what's going on? Okay, so that's going in. There we go. I'll say this is about, I'm going to use about 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, so I just went ahead and put in all my herbs and the seasonings that I showed you, and then just last minute I decided to add a sprinkle of parsley. So in there I've got my garlic, my Mrs. Dash, which is the herb and garlic one. I've got my pinch of salt, my chili flakes, and my adobo seasoning. So now to start making it more sauce like, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. So that goes in now. And I'm just going to stir that all together and start frying it. Actually, I'm just going to use my kitchen tongs. So that's been working well so far. So here we go. Right, so I'm going to turn the heat up slightly now. Get my kitchen tongs, and I'm just going to stir that all together. So at this point, I've also added my chorizo in slices, because I just prefer it. You can just chop it smaller if you prefer that. So at this point, my green beans have softened a tiny bit. They'll still be quite crunchy, which is how I like them, but they have softened a little bit. So all that is now merged together. Everything looks coated in the seasoning. And prawns don't take a long time to cook. If you overcook them on a high heat, if you're not frying them, they become quite rubbery. So you don't want to overcook your prawns. So that's that. Excuse my cold. my heat is turned up now and it's sizzling quite nicely. So the next thing I'm going to do, give that a good toss together, make sure it all comes together, and then back in goes my noodles. So all of that goes back in. How simple is that? Now you can either have your noodles separately and put that over it as, you know, more of a sauce, but I think because these noodles are, I'll say they're quite naked in flavor, they would adapt to anything that you put to them. They're quite good like that, so you can cook them with anything and they will just take on the flavor of whatever you've put on them. So that's that. I'm just going to toss all that in together, mix it all properly and let that cook for another 2 minutes. So I'll get going mixing this and I'll be back. Okay, so now that that's all mixed in quite nicely, I've just done this for about 1.5 minutes. I haven't gone the full 2 minutes. I think it looks perfectly fine. Everything's looking good. It's all mixed and the prawns are cooked. So you can again substitute your chorizo for ham, any kind of smoked meat, even smoked mackerel, something with quite a strong flavor to give this, you know, a kick and something to kind of rely on for flavor. Because like I said, the noodles are quite bland. They're nothing like normal noodles in terms of flavor, because normal noodles you can almost chew them as a snack. These you can't, because the flavor's just nothing really. So it's got its positives and negatives in that you can do anything to it, but you can't do nothing to it, if you get what I mean. So that's ready, and the next thing is to plate up, and I'll show you pictures at the end. This is going to taste so good. I've made this so many times. This is my, you know, go-to quick meal with these noodles, and sometimes I substitute my prawns for chicken, so I know how this goes. So I hope you try this out, and if you do, leave me a comment and let me know how you liked it, and any feedback obviously would be great. And I'm just going to plate this up and show you what pictures look like at the end. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.